the Wyatt Sicks, S-I-C-K-S, is here. Whether you like it or not, well, you don't got a choice in the matter, because they came and they massacred Raw. Straight up, bodies everywhere. It was insane, and people are saying it's one of the greatest debuts in cinema. Overwhelmingly positive. Now, I, on the other hand, am a little nervous. I'm a little scared even, and not scared in the way of, oh my god, they're so scary, are they gonna come and eat my soul? No, I'm scared in the way of, how am I going to bring a casual fan to watch WrestleMania 41? I'm like, no, it's going to be super cool when The Rock and Cody Rhodes fight each other. We just got to get past this Firefly Funhouse match where the puppet pig is lifting dumbbells. Don't worry, when he's done eating all of the chocolate and the bunny dies, then we can get to The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. You know, that's just going to be a little bit of a hard sell. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the 5 things that Triple H and the WWE need to do to make the Wyatt Sicks awesome, great, and strong, and make this an everlasting thing. Number 1 is they gotta be strong. They gotta be booked strong. They can't lose. They cannot lose. And that's gonna be tough because there's literally 5 of them. Well, what about the 6th member? You can always add a 6th member, but right now it seems that the 6th member is Bray Wyatt. You know, the memory of Bray Wyatt is the 6th member, but there are 5 members in the Wyatt family, and right now, none of them can lose. None of them can lose. Eventually, yes, they can be cannon fodder. You can have to go through all of them to get to the final boss that is Uncle Howdy, but right now, nobody can lose. They have to be strong, and if someone loses, they have to be dealt with. Kind of how Gunther used to deal with Imperium when they lost, but it has to be even more horrific. So you gotta book them strong. Well, wins and losses don't matter. Well, yeah, they don't, in that Jinder Mahal can get a title shot on any random Raw if he does a good segment with The Rock. But they matter in that if we need to believe that you're strong, you have to win. Could you imagine if Roman Reigns during his 3.5-year title reign lost every other pay-per-view? No, you couldn't. It was a big deal when he lost a tag match. The Wyatt Sicks have to be booked strong, especially Uncle Howdy. There can be no losses. That said, the number 2 thing that has to happen is they got to stay away from titles. Straight up, stay away from all the titles. Do what you did with The Undertaker the first year or 2 of his career in the WWE. He was booked strong. He didn't lose. He was a monster. He did not even go after the title into his 1-year anniversary. Survivor Series 91. He wins the title, but then it's instantly stripped from him because of shenanigans. Wait 1 year, give Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, he can get the title after a year, but then it has to be taken from him. And when it's taken from him, he has to not even care. He has to be, whatever, I'm on to something else. Because if he has the title, he's kind of pigeonholed into a position of people wanting the title, going after him, and eventually someone has to beat him, right? Someone has to beat him for the title. And even worse, if there's a looming legend on the horizon. You never know when Goldberg is going to rear his head. Now, I don't think Triple H is going to allow Goldberg to walk in and win any title like Vince McMahon allowed The Fiend to lose his title to Goldberg, but I do fear maybe Brock Lesnar could walk in and win the title, or The Rock, Roman Reigns. Those 2 are definitely potential in coming in, winning the title. Boom, Uncle Howdy lost. He lost to some guy who just waltzes in, and The Rock and Roman can't even really sell to the scariness and spookiness of the Wyatts. So yeah, we just got to keep the title off them. If you want, it has to be further in the career of the Wyatt Sicks before they actually ever really care. It was like 5 years, I believe, into the Undertaker's run that he actually started heavily going after the world title, and that's where we're at with the Wyatt Sicks. The third thing is to do the opposite of what we did with the Undertaker in the beginning, in that we don't need supernatural. Has to be very light supernatural and more creepy, more scary and unnerving, if that makes sense. This is horror, fine. We're putting horror in WWE again. I'm not a big fan of this decision, but everybody else is, so let's just go with it. We're putting horror back in, so if we're gonna do horror, you gotta do Saw, not Nun. The Nun You know, that's just like demonic, Satan, demons, all this stuff. It is definitely supernatural. I can possess you. I can make you do things because I am a demon. But with Saw, it's this lunatic guy who's like, let's play a game, and he makes you saw off your own arm. You get what I'm saying? He makes you do it. He puts you in these uncomfortable positions. Saw is very scary, and so is The Nun, right? But in the context of the WWE, we need to keep it to Saw. Make this scary and creepy, but in reality. And that's the fourth one also. Fourth one is this has to be reality. I am hearing theories out there that what happened at the end of the Raw was a dream sequence, in that they said a massacre is coming, and people are saying this was not the massacre. This was just what could happen. This is what the massacre will be. Because you see, Chad Gable, they alluded to him being completely dead, and a lot of people started pointing out, oh, there's Carmelo Hayes, there's Triple H, there's Gunther, and Carmelo Hayes has flat out come on Twitter and said, nope, that wasn't me. So we know it wasn't Carmelo Hayes, but was it Carmelo Hayes? Because if this was a dream sequence, then it could have been. It could have been anybody. People thought they saw Cody Rhodes in the mix of the bodies that were just laid out. And if that's the case, that's dumb and that's stupid. It's 2024, okay? The thing about wrestling is, I know it's fake. You know it's fake. WWE knows that we know that it's fake. However, we all gotta pretend that it's real. That's the thing. It's an inside joke, and we can't let anybody in on the fact that we know it's a joke. Otherwise, it becomes embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So we can't see this happen on Raw and be like, oh, that was just a dream sequence. You can't do it. Because A, there were people at Corpus Christi who were literally there, right? So how do they have footage of this dream sequence? Like Chad Gable just gonna be like, no, that wasn't me. I wasn't there. I had left earlier that night. The other people, you could be like, okay, well, you know, it was dark. It's just people that looked like them. But no, that was straight up Chad Gable. And if Chad Gable's gonna be like, no, I was at home and that must have been a dream, then it would just reek of absurdity. It really, really would. And also, Jey Uso had a WWE exclusive interview after his match, and he definitely referred to what happened at the end of the Raw, and he was like, oh yeah, I saw what happened, and if the Wyatt Sicks want the Fireflies back, they can have it, because I don't want any of that smoke. So Jay definitely knows that this happened. That was an internet exclusive interview that happened within the WWE universe. So this cannot be a dream, and we gotta keep that kind of thought process out of here, because that kind of thought process is like, oh yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, just because something is cool doesn't mean it's a good idea. Hey, a spider tattoo on my face would be cool, but it doesn't mean it's a good idea. You get what I'm saying? You know, it would be awesome to have a neck tattoo, right? But then you win the world championship, you're the face of the company, maybe that neck tattoo should have been down here or something, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's kind of a cool idea doesn't mean we should do it. So a dream sequence, we gotta leave that out. That would just absolutely kill the reality of everything. And make no mistake about it, we love when things get real with WWE, right? And we can't have our cake and eat too. We can't just be like, oh, this is so real. I love the hard-hittingness, the realism, that hatred. Oh, but I really like when Rambling Rabbit kills somebody and we wake up and it's just a dream. That doesn't make sense, all right? It doesn't make sense. This has to be reality. We can't be having lightning out of our fingers. We can't be doing any of that. Number 3 and number 4 are so very intertwined together. We gotta make it creepy and not spooky, and it has to stay in reality. Has to stay in reality. When The Undertaker shot lightning out of his fingers, that was stupid. Alright, that was stupid and lame. However, when Undertaker wheeled down a casket, well, Paul Bearer wheeled down a casket, and Diesel sees himself in the casket and freaks out, that was cool. The difference is we can explain that body in the casket. It's a mannequin. It's a lookalike. It's something, right? And everybody has their own fears about death. We all fear our own mortality, and Diesel was fearing that in that moment. So it's definitely relatable, and it can actually happen in real life. Oh, what about the lights going out and then suddenly Undertaker appears? That's fine too. Magicians do that. We know that that can happen. Lights go out. We know that Undertaker can get in the ring psychologically, just making it seem like he's just there and it's scary. But we know that it can happen, right? But we also know things that cannot happen. Lightning bolt on your fingers. Voodoo curses where ooze just comes down your head and you're like, oh, and you start vomiting pea soup. You know that? No, keep that gone. Number 5, don't overexpose them. This is the last one. To keep the Wyatt Sicks awesome, amazing, crazy cool is to not overexpose them, because I'm sure they're going to be selling a lot of merchandise and TKO is going to be like wanting that money, but don't overexpose them. This is an attraction. This is not weekly appearance type thing. This is an attraction. What is an attraction? Andre the Giant was an attraction. Hulk Hogan was a champion. Andre the Giant, he came around and people were in awe. They didn't know what to expect, but when they saw him, they did not expect someone of that size. They were like, wow. They would pay to see that guy sit on somebody, right? They would also know that he's not coming around all the time, so when he did come around, it was special. Hulk Hogan, on the other hand, he was always there. He was the guy leading the charge. He was the face of the company. Eat his vitamins, say his prayers, and just run wild. What you gonna do, brother? That was Hulk Hogan, and that's okay. You need attractions, and you need champions. You need them both. The champion appears more than the attraction. The attraction should be here and there, and that's what The Undertaker was kind of, sort of, and that's what the Wyatt Sicks needs to be, that kind of, sort of. An attraction. Don't overexpose them. You will still make a lot of money when they appear. Don't worry, TKO. Your best bet is to not overexpose them, and then that allows you to do all the other things. Because they're not showing up all the time, they can win more. They don't have to lose. And if you know that the Wyatts are going to be at SummerSlam, you're like, I'm going to be watching these 4 weeks leading up to SummerSlam. And then you're not writing stories all the time where you're kind of forced into a corner where you're like, well, maybe he should shoot lightning out of his fingers, so we got nothing else to do with them. They're an attraction. And those are my 5 things. They need to be kept into reality. Strong wins, no titles, no supernatural, keep it creepy, keep it in reality, and keep them an attraction. Am I being just like a little too, just get with the program, Ken? You know, wrestling is just it's just for entertainment. Don't worry about it. You think too much, Ken. So what are your opinions on the Wyatt Sicks? What are your opinions on my opinions? Help me book. What else needs to happen to keep the Wyatt Sicks big, strong, spooky, crazy, awesome? And let me know in the comments below. You get a chance to win one of the belts. I hit 10,000 subscribers. I give away the belt. The more you comment on the more videos, the more you get chances to win. Guys, girls, have a great day.